welcome to Weekly Reddit. In today's episode of r/Choosing Beggars, Bookish Dilemma. Where's my mask? We like the BMW better. ChoosyBeggar demands free car. Bookish Dilemma. Long time peeker, first time poster. Hey, firstly I wanna apologize for my English. It's not my native language. This happened 1 week ago. Backstory: I run a small bookstagram in my native language. For those who don't know what bookstagram is, it's basic Instagram account where you post photos of books you've read and rant about them in stories. Because I am poor student and pay rent and food and etc., I don't really have a lot money to spend on books, but I'm managing. Getting a lot of books for Christmas, birthdays, sometimes buy them myself, and I go to library a lot. So when there's some book competition, I guess. I mean like where you can win book, I hope you get me, I always join in. It's fun and you know I can get a book for free. The Encounter, one of the bigger bookstagrammers, made this Christmas competition, and the main prize was special edition book signed by the author and made specially for Fairloot, very expensive bookish mystery box which I definitely can't afford but absolutely need. I was amazed when she contacted me and said that I won. She made the draw of the winner public though. So I got this message not even 5 minutes after me knowing that I won. This girl, CB, seemed very nice, but you know it was weird for her to message me. CB, hi, congrats on the winning in /this/ competition from /that/ person. I was curious if there was any possibility if you could trade the book you won with me for something else. This made me feel weird. First of all, I didn't even hold the book in my hands. She doesn't even follow me, and if I would not like the book I would probably just make a competition myself to give back to my amazing small bookie family. Me, hey, I think I'm not planning to do such thing, but just for the info, what would you like to trade it for? CB starts naming basic books that I could definitely buy for cheap online. Me, still trying to be polite cause I hate drama, haha, yeah sorry, I think he'll hold on to my prize. You know I never won anything and it makes me happy. It's like a Christmas gift. CB, well what about my Christmas gift? I just need the book, you got it for free anyway. I was trying to buy it online but it was sold out everywhere. You already know that it's a special edition and you can't find it anywhere, at least in our country. Me, okay well thanks for your offer but no. Have a nice day and happy new year. Too long did not read, me winning special edition signed by the author book, Choosing Beggar tries to trade for cheap books. Then goes livid when I refuse. Hope it was readable. Have a good one guys and stay safe. Where's my mask? Hope this works out okay. Bad writer but I try lol. To start off, I have a few siblings. One is an older brother who is the CB. My dad, or what he used to be called as, took him in when he was a preteen because of difficult reasons, and taught him plenty of his behavior. Dad was rude, selfish, egotistical, and more of an emotional and verbal abuser. My brother got part of him and it shows. He has been doing a bit better, but baby steps. I make masks for the bad virus, and they don't look bad at all. I even sold a few to family which they still used thankfully. Now to start, my grandma asked me for some masks and I made a few for her, then asks me to make some for my cousin, uncles, and brother. I didn't give them to her to send out. But what I didn't realize is that my brother didn't get his mask for some reason. Might have got lost in the mail, or she didn't get a chance to mail it out. But for probably a few months, my brother would always ask in a condescending voice, where's my mask? I always tell him that grandma has it still or it should have sent it to him. Even my mum got into the argument telling him that she did give her his mask to be sent out to him. But every time, he doesn't stop asking, and it got very annoying. Christmas was coming soon and I decided to make more special masks for my siblings. Brother loved the turtle group who were ninja fighters back in the day, and I asked my mum to help me order a fabric with the franchise printed on it. It came and I made 2 for him. I even made a couple for my sister since she accidentally lost her mask. Hers was the printed logo of my state football team, which was what my grandma wanted me to make. I also got my brother something special to go with his masks. When Christmas came and we were all ready to open presents, after a couple were opened, I gleefully watched my brother open his. When he saw the masks first, my mom happily told him I made turtle ones for him. Once. Again. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "It's not my football team mask though." I just gave up and lost all happy feeling. I told him about the reason again and was a bit more pissed off. Mom calmly told me to be quiet. She gently hushed me by patting my back and giving me a knowing look. But, lucky for him, I made an extra team mask for me, but to stop him from asking again, I walked back to my room. We had Christmas at my house, grabbed the freshly made, never worn, mask, and walked back out and just sat it on his head. When he felt the mask and took it off to see it, no thank yous at all. Except the present, but nothing about the team mask. He did ask if I wore it after I told him I made an extra for me. He asked in a pretty rude way. I told him no, I just made it and never worn it. After a few hours, he left. Once he was out of the door, I looked at my mum and quietly said he didn't have to be a D%K about it. She agreed that he should have been more nicer, but wasn't that bad as he used to be like. But it really hurt that I thought of something he might like but just throw it all out and wanting to know where his freaking mask is. To tell the truth, it honestly didn't cross my mind to make him the team mask along with the turtle ones, but he's lucky I had an extra for him. That's my recent CB story. Hope it fits. Have a safe holiday and a safer 2021. We like the BMW better. This happened at the worst time of our lives. Our 20-year-old son had died. This story is what happened the day we came home from the funeral. We are flying home after our son's funeral and my husband's sisters, Millie and Mary, accompany us, and are coming to a memorial service the next day. On the flight, one of the sisters, don't remember which, tells my husband that they don't have a rental car reserved. My husband says, "Sorry, can't help you. We are getting picked up by our neighbor." He tells them they can use his corporate discount at Choosy car rental, and get a great deal. Problem solved. Not a chance. After we land, we are waiting for all the luggage. We had 2 bags for the 4 of us and they had 8 for 3 people. Obviously, we had our luggage long before they even had half of their luggage. Our ride shows up and we tell Millie, Mari and nephew to call us when they get settled at the hotel. We made reservations for them near our home and close to the church where the service will be held. Note they didn't want to stay at our house because we didn't have a pool, and they were treating this as a mini vacay. Hours go by, and we haven't heard from anyone. We call, we text, we call mom, but nothing but radio silence from the terrible trio. 4 hours later, they finally call my husband. We find out they are not in the hotel we arranged. Extended stay place with in-room kitchens and an outdoor pool. It was July, they are at a freaking 5-star hotel, about 45 minutes away. When my husband asks what happened, Millie tells him, the lines were too long at the car rentals, but the limo rentals had no one in line, so we took a limo, and the limo driver was so nice. He told us he could take us to a better hotel, one with an indoor pool and room service. So that's where they went. Stuck at a really nice hotel, still with no car. I suggest to my husband, after he calmed down, that his sisters could just use my car. We wouldn't really need it for the next few days. My husband calls his sister back and tells her that I will allow them to use my car, as long as no one smokes in it. This is a hard rule with me, and they agree. We drive to the hotel and my husband, who is still fuming, says, just drop the keys at the desk for them, and we are out of here. So, I walk in with my car keys, go to the front desk, and tell them that I am just dropping off keys for Millie and Mary and could I use an envelope? As I am writing down where the car is parked, Millie and Mary walk up to the front desk. So I just hand over my keys, tell them where the car is and turn to leave. The girls follow me out to the parking lot, said they wanted to say hi to my husband and ask if we wanted to go out on the town tonight and do it upright, who was parked next to my car, small 4-door sedan, in his new BMW. When they looked at the keys and saw they weren't to the BMW, they lost their fudge. Millie starts, "We need the bigger car, we have more stuff." Mari complains that the sedan would be too small for nephew, big boy, and she would feel better in the Beamer. My husband barely makes eye contact with anyone, tells me to get in the car, we've got arrangements to make and off we go. The girls call Mum, of course, and complain to anyone who would listen, but they didn't get to drive the Beamer. Oh yeah, they were 45 minutes late to the memorial, dressed in tank tops, cut-off shorts and flip-flops. And the kicker? Millie and nephew are smoking as they get out of my car, ChoosyBeggar and man's free car. Not my story, but my wife's. So, when my wife was in college, her dad killed himself. Took himself out to a secluded roadside and plugged his car so he died of carbon monoxide poisoning. He was extremely depressed and figured that after he had seen his kids all grow up, he was less selfish in ending his life. My wife was very close with her dad, and this destroyed her, and to this day, 20+ years, she still breaks down around that time of the year. After his funeral, my wife ended up being given the car, since no one else in her family wanted to deal with it. It was a fairly new Honda Accord, and while she was driving an early 1970s VW Beetle, she couldn't bring herself to drive the car, or part with it because it was all she had left. My wife had a roommate in college who was the classic slacker. He used to guilt her into doing his assignments, taking tests for him and buying his food as well as quite often covering his part of the rent. Let's just call him CB. Now, CB's car had broken down some few months before this all happened, and had been driving his younger sister's car, as she was living on a college campus and didn't really need to travel much. Once my wife got possession of her dad's car, CB immediately started dropping hints that he wanted it, asking almost daily what she was going to do with it, constantly saying that it was so hard to drive an older model car that just consumed gas, and basically playing the victim, and even started making nasty comments about how she was being selfish and that she must not be a real friend, all because she wouldn't give him the car. Please note that my wife's car she was actively using was at least 10 years older than his sister's. Understandably, my wife was falling to pieces at this time. So, to keep the peace, she ended up telling this guy that he could use the car as long as he was careful and put the insurance in his name. At some point, my wife ended up leaving college for a few weeks to spend time with her family since they were all gathering together to have a memorial for her father, so she leaves CB with the car, and heads back home. When she got back, she noticed that CB's sister's car was parked out on the street, and figured that his sister must be visiting. When she went inside, there was no sister, only CB. She thought this was strange, so she asked if his sister was borrowing her car to run errands. CB then went on to explain that he just hadn't enjoyed driving the car she gave him, so he had sold it and was putting the money aside to buy something that he chose, and had decided driving his sister's car wasn't so bad after all. Suffice to say that my wife called the cops, but nothing was done since this guy had forged a bill of sale, and as she had instructed, put the insurance in his own name. She has serious trouble trusting people to this day, and has some pretty serious walls in place when it comes to friends. Too long did not read. Wife's dad dies, she inherits car. loans car to friend, friend sells it for selfish reasons.
Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up with the best content from Reddit.